You wear your heart on your sleeve these days.
You know, then.
Yes.
With you all summer and after rain. 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 With you.
Welcome. We are back another day in the market. Scrooge, Skip T. Lou, Zeke, Steven, Layback, Baro-san, Eric. How's everybody doing? Crazy. Pretty good day for the market. S&P up 1%, ARK ETF up 3%, Russell 2000 up 1%, NASDAQ up about 1.5%. Tomorrow we have CPI numbers at 8:30 a.m. EST. We're going to look at an article in a second. But all around, beautiful day for growth stocks and mid caps. I mean, I don't like patting myself on the back so much. I don't like talking like this, but on Sunday night, I said I don't think that we were at the bottom yet. I thought that we'd have some more to sell off. Then on Monday, the S&P was down 2% at the low. And then on Monday's stream, I said, hey, I think we're ready for a reversal. I think, things are looking really, really bullish. I said that last night on stream after we printed all of those hammer candles. And we got the follow through price action today. So what is next? Well, we'll get to it in 2 or 3 minutes. We're going to start off with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Then I'm going to talk about the overall stock market. After that, we're going to talk about, first off, we're going to talk about the next stock I'm keeping a very close eye on. We're going to talk about a few other stocks I'm keeping an eye on right now. I'm going to go over the ongoing swings. Pretty much every single ongoing swing was green today. Okay, so if you're in the Discord, if you follow me on Twitter and you see my swing alerts that are free, pretty much all of them were green today. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there was like a couple premium ones that were down like 1/4%. Like, pretty much all of them were green today. It was a beautiful day. I mean, we talked about Lucid so much last night on stream. That was up 9% today. All you had to do was watch the stream last night. And now I'm going to tell you the next stock I'm watching after Lucid. Still watching Lucid, of course. We talked about Baba last night on stream. That had a great day. We're going to get into all of it. Let's start off with Bitcoin, which also had a nice bounce. And there's a swing trade on Bitcoin, which is currently up about 1.5% since the entry. Testing a little bit of resistance at 43K, but you could see on lower time frames, you're kind of breaking out of this little range here. I'm going to make it blue so it stands out from the yellow. Kind of breaking out of this little range here on the 4-hour chart for Bitcoin. Just testing it for right now. And this is the second time you're bottoming in the lower $40,000 area within the last month or so. So, classic bullish divergence developing. You got a bullish pin bar off the domain line of this wedge, off of a very, very important historical zone. Bitcoin looks pretty good here in my opinion. It could be ready for a reversal to the upside. We'll talk about MARA stock a little bit later in the stream probably. So that's Bitcoin. Ethereum, bullish engulfing candle today. Bounced at the PCZ of a bullish bat. We have a bullish bat on Ethereum that's been developing for like 3 months now. So crypto looking pretty decent. You know, I mean, these are the variables you want for a bullish reversal. You're starting to get them. You got bullish pin bars yesterday, bullish engulfings today, at PCZs of harmonics, low RSIs. That's what you want for reversals. So hopefully these lows can hold, but we'll see. OMI had a huge spike today. I don't know if there was news or anything, but it had this 18% day. Now it's pulled back about 6% in the last 2 hours. And that's really it. It bounced off of that support I've been showing you all on stream for a while now, and it went up to the resistance, the supply line of the long-term bump and run, which it still has yet to break out of. So yeah, I mean, maybe we'll look at cryptos later on in the stream. I don't know. Who remembers FTM, where I talked about it down here, and then it pretty much more than doubled after that. Maybe we'll look at some altcoins later, see if we could find scenarios just like that. So let's talk about the overall stock market before we get into the charts. Tomorrow morning, CPI numbers at 8:30. Economists expect the consumer price rose about 0.4% in December and 7% year over year. That compares to a 0.8% jump in November, or a 6.8% gain year over year, the highest since 1982. So tomorrow morning, you're probably going to want to see a number under 7%, if I'm reading that correctly. Let me know if I'm wrong. And yeah, that could literally set up the day for tomorrow in general. So see what those numbers are in the morning. Hopefully it's under 7%. I don't know if 7% will just kind of be like a nothing signal. And then above 7% could make it a shaky morning. But a lot of people are already expecting pretty hot inflation. So we'll see. We already know that interest rates will be rising this year. And there's plans in action. However, to be fair, the Fed has not done a great job of controlling it. And to be fair as well, I mean, we're in a very unprecedented time, and I think they've done the best in a way that they could have. I don't think anybody could have really forecasted what's happened in the last couple of years. So I don't think the blame is placed on anybody. It's just we're all trying to figure out the best way to manage everything. And I'm going to stay away from this sector of the market. It's not really my expertise. We'll stick to the charts for right now. So yeah, watch out for that tomorrow morning. What's going on? What is going on with the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, the Russell? Let's focus on these indices, because if you want days where all the swings are green, you have to focus on the market, okay? If you want days where it's super easy to get a bunch of different day trades, you got to focus on the overall market. If you're not focusing on the overall market, you are not trading correctly. I will say that. That is probably the one time I'll tell you that you're doing something wrong, all right? I know everybody has their own style of trading, but if you're in the stock market, maybe you should look at the stock market, all right? So let's get started, all right? We had obviously all those hammer candles yesterday. We had another high volume signature. I mean, this has just been a cheat code to the S&P 500 in the past year. It really has been. I mean, how many times do I got to draw these circles on the screen? It's pretty much this easy. It really is. High volume equals bottom, and it has done that the last however many times. I'm not going to keep on drawing circles. You get the point. I mean, how many times have I showed you all? Well, I'm just back to those areas where you start bottoming out, and then you did it again. So the only difference this time around was, actually, no, there was no difference. You did actually hit the lower Bollinger Band. So, all right, the next time the S&P 500, has a volume spike back up to these areas right over here, and you're at your lower Bollinger Band, just remember that like the last 7 or 8 times you did that, it bottomed out, okay? I don't know how many times I have to bring this up, but it's been pretty easy, to be honest. It's really not something complicated at all. So where are we now? We had an amazing hammer candle across the board for the market yesterday. This morning, what did I also say last night on stream? I said that you were going to be opening around supply. Okay, so let's go to the open on low time frames and take a look at this. All right, today is the 11th. And this was your open. I told you all last night on stream that your S&P and your NASDAQ they closed yesterday pretty much at their gap fills. And that they were pretty much closing right under resistance. And what did I say? I said maybe you find a little bit of a pullback in the morning, and then you eventually get enough pressure to break over. I said something along those lines last night on stream. That's exactly what happened today. Okay, you opened at resistance, you pulled back because you opened at resistance, but you didn't really have any bearish pressure. You were just kind of testing resistance. You pulled back a little bit. You ended up double bottoming intraday, and then you eventually broke that resistance and you went much, much higher during the day. Yet another day, if you were in the Discord, I did share multiple different charts of the market intraday, and some of them did play out pretty nicely. So yeah, that was pretty much how you started the morning. Pull back off resistance, double bottom, break over that resistance, and you were just kind of in an upsloping channel for the rest of the day. It was pretty fun, honestly. So remember, for context, this over here is why I alerted SPY calls to premium members. Literally the bottom so far. But I'm not really just saying that to talk about the calls. I'm saying because since that bottom, we are now up about 3% in 2 days, okay? And to be fair, on the week, let's see how much we're actually up. If you don't consider the 2% drop on Monday morning, we're not even up 1%, okay? So we're up a lot from the low of the week, but we're not really up a lot on the week compared to where we closed last Friday, okay? And now, like, it's kind of the same thing as yesterday. You had an amazing day during the day today, very, very fun. And then again, tomorrow you're opening up near resistance. And actually it's a much larger resistance. The resistance that we were opening up towards today was just this gap fill over here. That was pretty much it. I think there was like a level on like the 1 hour. Yeah, there was like a small level you could see with support here, and you kind of just tested it, you pulled back, and then you ran higher. Tomorrow, though, you're actually testing the realer resistance on the S&P 500, all right? Take a look at this yellow box over here. Those are your highs in November, pretty much all throughout the month. You tested as resistance in December twice before it's selling off a lot and then eventually breaking it towards the end of the year. So, yeah, this is your resistance, 470-ish, 471, 472. It is a resistance zone for the S&P 500. So, again, that's not necessarily just a bad thing, okay? That means that if we do have enough pressure to break above this resistance, then even after the 3% rise we've already seen this week, you have a breakout, which, I mean, if you break over this resistance, you probably could retest all-time highs by the end of the week. If you break over it with confirmation, you know? You also have 4-hour hidden bullish divergence we've been talking about for a couple of days now. That's getting closer to confirmed. So, yeah. Really, really good stuff. Does anybody remember last night on the stream when I told you this is where we closed yesterday? I told you that we were breaking out of those down sloping channels. I mean, look how perfect it was. You broke out yesterday, you back tested on the first candle this morning, and then you went. Your break, your hook, your go. You did that on all of the indices pretty much. Look at the ARK ETF, break, hook, go. Look at the Russell 2000, break, hook, go. I mean, literally charts are moving the market right now. And of course, CPI can overrule all this tomorrow, but this is just textbook stuff. And that's what we're focusing on. So that's your S&P 500. Going into tomorrow, 470-ish is your resistance, 471, 472, the lower 470s. And in terms of support, maybe you could look at this, let's go to lower time frames, this demand line over here that I drew. Maybe that could be a support. You also have 468. You can see with support here, resistance here, so 468 support, 471, 472 resistance for tomorrow, okay? That's really what you want to focus on for the SPY. Obviously, CPI numbers can get us above or beneath either of the levels I just talked about. Let's move over to the NASDAQ, which actually reclaimed the channel, okay? It broke down from the channel, but I said, hey, still looks bullish. You had the potential classic bullish divergence. You bounced off the 200-day moving average roughly, and you're back in the channel. So I'm not really surprised. You know, it was the first time you were out of the channel in almost a year, but you had other variables, such as the variable I brought up on Sunday night stream. Before we were even down at 14,500, go back to Sunday night stream, I showed you all like in these areas, like we were over here, and I said, if you were to pull back a little bit more, which I said on Sunday, I thought that the bottom wasn't in yet, and then you ended up pulling back on Monday, I said that you have potential Gartleys for the NASDAQ and the QQQ on Sunday night, and you hit the PCZs of those Gartleys, and on the NASDAQ, you're up 4% since hitting that PCZ. On the QQQ, you're up 4% since hitting that PCC. So really cool to see charts moving the market so far this week. I hate being so egotistical about like technicals and stuff, but like when you have things working out this perfectly, it just, I don't know. It's just too perfect for people to discredit this type of stuff. So you now have daily classic bullish divergence on the QQQ. Okay, potential right angle, descending broadening wedge formations, you know, not textbook, but 4 touches on your demand line, kind of, if we're going to count that. Got this resistance around 400 on the QQQ. This is what you want to focus on short term. So that's your NASDAQ. Apart from that, we have, let's go to the Russell 2000 next for small cap traders. This potential inverse head and shoulders we've been talking about. Yeah, the 1 hour breakout, which has played out very, very nicely. 4 hour hidden bullish divergence. The Russell looks amazing right here, in my opinion. This is a low risk, potential high reward opportunity. These are what you dream of. These are the times you dream of if you're a small cap trader. So I said the same thing at these lows. We had an 8% rally. I'm saying the same thing again. So I think move, maybe you pull back a little bit first. Depends on how the CPI goes, but I think you should retest that neckline of the potential inverse head and shoulders at some point within the next couple of weeks. And yeah, the only thing you don't really have is divergence on the daily, but it's not like you have bearish divergence either. So that's what you got for the Russell 2000. Pretty straightforward. These are your levels on the 4 hour chart. Move on to the ARK ETF. I mean, did we not talk about $80? Did I not say that this could be the bottom last night on stream? Held up so far for today. Classic bullish divergence developing. Bounced off of the demand line of this down sloping channel. And the golden retrace from the COVID crash low to high. Like, I just wish that the people who don't believe in technicals show up to these streams. Like, how can you explain that the ARK ETF, okay? How can you explain that it's up 8% in 2 days after literally perfectly tapping a Fibonacci level, a technically line that's not even actually on the chart? Explain that to me, and then we could talk. All right, so yeah, ARK ETF, now you're approaching some resistance around 89 from this low over here and this low over here. If you break above that, that could send you to 97. If you can't break above that, maybe you're just in this range for a little bit between $80 and $90. 4 hour chart. Bounce at the demand line of this down sloping channel or wedge. Classic bullish divergence nearly confirmed. So yeah, it's looking like higher time frames are bullish for the market. Lower time frames, maybe they need a rest day, either tomorrow or the day after. You just put in a lot of work, up 4% off the low for the NASDAQ so far this week, up, what did I say, 2 or 3% for the S&P 500 off the low. We've already done a lot of good work. So I think the overall trend is reversing right now. And like I did say earlier in the week, I think there is more potential reward in small caps, mid caps, and large caps, because a lot of small caps look just like this. Okay, a lot of small caps look like this, even though the market has rallied to new all-time highs. I think the statistic is that 40% of stocks on the NASDAQ exchange are down 50% from their highs. So there's only like a handful of stocks, the large cap tech stocks, the blue chips, holding up the things like the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. So a lot of small caps look like this, whereas a lot of large caps look like this. So yeah, I mean, Apple, of course, I think it's going to keep going up over time, but you got to remember where you are in comparison to a lot of other stocks in the market right now. So that's my thoughts on the market overall. The Hang Seng Index is up 2%. Like, again, we talked about the double bottom, the channel breakout. So yeah, since the breakout we talked about, Chinese stock market is up about 5%. I'm sure there's a lot of people in the news trying to figure out different reasons as to why it's up so much in the past few days, but a little breakout was a simple way to view it. So yeah, gold spiking up, interesting, back over the 200-day moving average. 1833 is your next resistance. The dollar might be breaking down. I actually like to see this. It might be breaking down right here. So you have this symmetrical triangle. Even if you just look at it as a support level, breaking under 95 might not be good for the dollar. So keep an eye on that. Dow Jones, kind of in an upsloping channel currently. That's probably how I view the Dow Jones currently. Yeah, what else? VIX, kind of just testing the 200-day moving average currently. Resistance around $20, $21. US 10-year pulling back. However, if we look at it like this, I never really looked at it like this. Maybe you could argue it just broke out of like a massive triangle. So who knows? Maybe it pulls back down to 165, 164, retests the breakout, and then runs up to almost 2% eventually. We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't run too crazy, too fast. We're in growth stocks right now, but these are the type of patterns that could reverse overall trends. I mean, it's been downtrending since 2018, was uptrending from 2016 to 2018. And from your high in 2018 to your COVID crash low, you're around a 50% retrace. So yeah, that's the US 10-year. Let me see what's in the chat.
What does a ghost really look like?
Maxime says would love a flush tomorrow to reconfirm the lows. Yeah, I mean, it does make it tougher when you're going up nonstop every single day, but again, it's only been 2 days. But I mean, if we get something like this again, you know, it makes it a little bit harder to use technical analysis when you're just going straight up every single day, because you're not really getting any changes on your oscillators, you're not really creating patterns. So I do prefer kind of like slower rises so you can consolidate a bit, leg up again, stuff like that. What's up, Jeff? What's up, Bala the guy? All right, so what else to talk about right now? A lot. We're gonna start off with BABA. 3% today. And potentially a new swing on BABA tomorrow. I didn't put it out today because I want to see what the CPI numbers look like, but we already talked about this chart last night. Triple classic bullish divergence, close to an alternate bat on the weekly. Double bottom on the daily. Even on lower time frames. We were looking at it last night on stream and it was right here, okay? That's how it looked last night on stream. And then boom, right off the open at a 4% handle for the first hour of the day. Some premium members could have walked away with 100% profit on that spike. I shared some calls yesterday. They went down first, but they went up a lot this morning. So that's BABA. But what else? What other Chinese stock did very well today? JD, which is a swing already. This was alerted yesterday. All you have to do is be in the Discord or follow me on Twitter. And I alerted JD around 69 bucks yesterday. It was up 10% today. Huge day. I don't know if there was any news. I didn't even look. This was on December 29th, so yeah, we talked about the wedge breakout last night on stream, the classic bullish divergence, and it had a huge day. It just went up the whole entire day. Broke over the 200-day moving average as well. So, you know, you'd think that it would have just ran up to test it and then kind of closed around there, but it actually broke over it. So really, really strong price action. Swing's already up 11%. It can't be a field trade at this point. I already moved up my alert to the break even. So really, really good start to this swing. We probably talk about the rest of the swings before I talk about some other stocks I want to bring up. So let's move on to Fisker, which was up 1% today. Now remember, we were talking about hidden bullish divergence before, and now you have potential classic bullish divergence. If these relative lows can hold, you made a lower low on price, potential higher low on your MACD if the MACD crosses back over to green. So Fisker, I don't know if this is your bottom, but you have some technical indicators that kind of align for this to be a potential bottom. All right, so if this swing is to eventually confirm and play out, this could be the lowest risk area. We'll see what happens. CLOV was up 3% today. Remember we talked about this on the 15-minute. This little channel breakout, it had triple classic bullish divergence that ended up playing out today. There has been a couple different pieces of news, so that could have definitely helped out. But look at this. Look at this price action. You see this low from January 6th and eventually broke under it. It retested as resistance today. It broke above it and then it closed at it as support. So that's very, very interesting. On the 1 hour chart, it's just kind of in the middle of nowhere, to be honest. But on the 4 hour, now have a classic. This is the first time in a long time you've had classic bullish divergence. All right, the last time you had classic bullish divergence on the 4 hour was the beginning of October, and that led to a 20% move higher on CLOV. The last time you had the same exact 4 hour oscillators, and now you have them again. So bottom could be in for CLOV as well. If the Russell holds its current lows, if these lows hold again, it's not about calling the bottom, it's about finding the low risk areas where you can set a stop easily at a predictable price and see areas with very low resistance right above you, okay? So you had a bullish engulfing candle at the low after a bullish hammer or a bullish pin bar. You got a fall through candle after that. You have divergence now. That's what you want to see, right? This is exactly what you want to see for potential bottoms at the demand line of this wedge. Remember, we talked about the lower Bollinger Bands on Sunday. I mean, if the same technicals that played out a few times in the past, like over here and over here and over here, play out again, this could be your bottom for CLOV. That's the first time I've said that in months. And I'm talking about like an actual long-term bottom. I'm not talking like a local bottom or something. I know we've talked about a couple of these ones over here, but these are the areas. Remember, there's only 28 people in the stream when I'm talking about this. Remember, so if CLOV goes to $5-6 in a few months, we'll see how things look then. And then people will complain, but it's all good. And again, low risk area, not a certainty. Not saying it's the bottom, saying it's the low risk area for a technical trader, not necessarily for long term. But hey, for long term, it could be, because a lot of people were long term up at these prices, and now you're a third of the way lower. That's probably not the best way to say it. 70-80% lower, I don't know. So do I like CLOV here? Yes, I do. Did I like CLOV up here too? Yes, but for a trade. And I've said that every single night on stream. So we'll see what happens eventually. Not financial advice. Let's continue on with the swings. BYND was up 4% today. Look at this, okay? Bullish engulfing candle. After back testing the breakout of this wedge, all BYND has to do is get above and hold above $70. This has a high float short percent at the PCZ of a long-term bullish shark. I mean, again, these are the areas that nobody cares about at all. But these are the areas that a technical reversal trader should be caring about. Okay? I can't say this enough. I really can't. Low risk potential, insanely high reward opportunity areas. Insanely high potential for rewards at these areas. Moving on to AMC. You are still testing your double bottom. You now have developing classic bullish divergence. Okay. Coming up on a year since this first short squeeze. The previous high from that first short squeeze is now being regarded as support just a year later. And I mean, another one, potential high reward area with pretty easy low risk. We'll see what happens in a few weeks. I don't know. Again, there's no certainty that's going to bounce here, but these are like literally textbook, technical, beautiful, perfect. I don't even know what words to use. Like, these are the setups you look for time and time again, and you're getting them across the board. So I'll just be interested to see how a lot of this different stuff plays out. SONO, this was alerted I think yesterday as well, and you have classic bullish divergence confirmed, and it might be breaking out of the wedge. So this swing was alerted yesterday. It's already up 7% since the entry, and it might have already broken out. It had its highest close since like the beginning of December today, and you broke your supply line after the hammer candle yesterday. I don't know if anybody's paying attention, but SONO, keep an eye on it. It's already done a lot of good stuff in the first day. SPLK as well, a lot of breakouts today. I mean, we did talk about this yesterday, to be fair. It did have its highest close in a while yesterday, and you got the fall through today, but this trade has been, you know, down 2 or 3% for pretty much the whole entire duration since alert, and now it's back in profit, up 5% since the entry. So the breakout is occurring on SPLK. That's what you want. Wix, it's up 5% today. It's back outside of the wedge. Look at that. Your hidden bearish divergence confirmed for one day, and then your MACD went back to green and invalidated the next day. That's just amazing. So Wix bouncing off the inflection zone yet again. Just start looking at some of these charts. Okay, it's kind of like this thing. These are the things I teach about looking for, and now we're just getting them on a lot of these different charts at the same time. Just pay attention. So that's Wix. SU getting close to the second target. This already hit the first target for a 10% gain. This was up 5% today, just kind of straight up the whole entire day. Breakout already happened. The cup and handle already broke out, and your next target is this gap fill around 28.48. That's your second target. I do think that the second target could hit pretty soon. There's nothing left until then, unless we have horrible CPI numbers tomorrow and everything rolls over. We could see the second target being hit in the next couple of days, and then VLO as well is inches away from the second target, which will be a 20% gain on this swing. It took a lot of patience, but typically some of the best swings take the most patience, okay? So you don't really have much resistance until the second target here as well. So SU and VLO, getting closer and closer to their second targets. Things are good. I don't know. I feel like I'm the only one that thinks that things are good currently, but things are pretty good right now. Swings are great. The options are great. The market looks like there's a lot of room left for small caps and mid caps. We do have some fundamental hurdles to get past, but the sheet already looks like this, and the Russell and the ARK have only gone up for 2 days since the bottom. So, wow. And again, it could be a dead cat bounce. Who knows? You know, maybe none of it plays out. CPI numbers are insanely high tomorrow morning, then this is just a dead cat bounce. But so much work has already been put in. If you're in premium, potential profits of nearly 600% this week already. And this is not even including like the 3 other champs trades I shared today, which is where I'm sharing my personal trades. I'll talk about those in a second, but like literally every single one of these, the minimum potential profit was 70%. These ones I had to mark red on the sheet because they did go down 20% first, and that's just how I use the sheet. But BABA calls went up 100% this morning, and then Russell calls also went up 100% throughout today. So these ones, they just kind of got screwed over initially, but I did actually tell premium members. Just want to make it clear, IWM and BABA technicals are still the same. The timing may have just been off. And I said this yesterday, and I said also Lucid still has major potential if it can confirm a breakout at some point this week, and Lucid was up 9% today. So technically, I mean, I'm not going to count these because these were literally last Friday, but all of these, the minimum potential profits were over 70% because the ARK calls went up 70% as well. So if you're not in premium, I'm starting to share some options outside of premium. Microsoft calls on Friday. They went up 20% same day, then they went all the way down on Monday with everything else. They're starting to actually come back up. Maybe I'll give an update on these tomorrow. And then Apple calls were alerted yesterday. And if you're in the Discord or if you follow me on Twitter, those calls went up 80% today. We'll cover all that. And then obviously the swings. Best the swings have looked. Or the best the swings. Yeah, I think that's the right way to say it. They're looking pretty nice. All right. So yeah, that's the updates on the swings. Let's get into some other stuff. Let's talk about some of the options trades and whatnot. We're gonna start off with Lucid. Go back to last night's stream. I showed you the cup and handle, how it was in this range for a whole entire month, and how it was getting ready for a breakout. And boom, 9% day for Lucid. All you technically have to do is either you're in premium or you just watch the stream. And I mean, I was talking about Lucid all of yesterday. So yeah, Lucid started off my day very, very nicely this morning. Had a good amount of calls. I sold them around like over here around 45-ish, 44, but it still has more room to go. The next resistance is 47.25, and then after that around $50. There's not much resistance until then. And kind of developing this upsloping channel here. On lower time frames, it does kind of look like a rising wedge. And I have heard some stuff about lockup periods and whatnot, so keep all that in mind. So yeah, from a horizontal resistance standpoint, you do not have much resistance above you. However, you are starting to get overbought on lower time frames, whatever everybody's saying about that lockup stuff, and maybe rising wedge forming here. But who knows, if it gaps up tomorrow, it could just break above the supply line of this wedge. So beautiful stuff on Lucid. That's what you want. Okay, this was honestly kind of like Wyckoff accumulation. I think somebody actually tweeted me about it earlier today, but I'd never actually even looked at it like that. And pretty interesting. It was really Wyckoff-ian actually. You even had your LPS over here, your Spring over here. So if this is a Wyckoff breakout, we could see a larger move eventually. So 9% day for Lucid. That's honestly exactly what I was hoping for. Not necessarily 9% day, but the breakout was set up for today and it broke out and it did amazing. So great stuff on Lucid today. What else? I shared Lucid calls with premium members. I think on Monday those calls were up, I don't remember. They were up a lot at the high of today, obviously. Apple. I shared Apple calls with everybody on Twitter and in the Discord, whether you're in premium or not, right over there. And those calls went up, I can't remember these things, 80% at the high today or towards the close today. So yeah, next resistance for Apple is 175.84, 176 from these highs, these lows. And even on the 5-minute, you broke out of this bullish pennant. Take a look at this. And your measured move of the bullish pennant is around $76 as well. So yeah, 176 could be the next area Apple heads to unless CPI numbers are not good tomorrow morning. So yeah, Good stuff on Apple. You could probably, after 176, if it breaks above it, you could just use Fibonacci's for the next resistances, and then probably a ton of resistance around the 180-ish level. And there you go. What else? So I shared a couple champs trades with premium members today. One of them was Mar, and I forgot who brought it up last night on stream. Somebody brought this up last night on stream, and I want to look at it again, okay? Obviously, we're talking about how I like Bitcoin over here. Still want to talk about this. Mara is in a falling wedge with classic bullish divergence on the daily. It bounced off of a historical support. I think we identified a harmonic last night on stream too. So yeah, I entered some Mara calls for a swing. I shared them in premium members. It went up like 20% like right away, and I only had a third of my position in trade. So it went up like I think 27 or 28% in like 20 minutes or something. So yeah, I shared like my exact entry price that I got filled out and everything. I'm doing that for this month only. In this channel right here, if you could see it. So those started off very, very well. I also shared that I was entering Palantir calls, which also went up like 25% in like 20 minutes after I shared them today. I mean, to be fair, today was a very, very easy day for a lot of different trades. But I'm watching this cup and handle on Palantir, this 4-hour wedge, and hopefully it can reclaim 17, which was the lowest from here. Got above it for a little bit today and then closed under it. Maybe tomorrow can. We'll see what the CPI numbers look like. But you also have triple classic bullish divergence developing on the daily MACD and classic bullish divergence on the RSI. So those are some other stocks I'm watching. Kaleidoscope, who's a premium member, shared this on Pfizer today. This falling wedge is appearing with hidden bullish divergence. Maybe keep an eye on this. I shared a tweet about BBIG earlier today. It broke out of this long-term falling wedge, and look how it bounced off this $2 area of support. That's another one I'm watching. Peloton broke out of a wedge today. I shared this with premium members on the Sunday watch list. Just tested some resistance at 37.53, back from over here. We can break above that. I mean, maybe get up to the 40s and test those areas. What else am I watching? There's one other one that I forgot. Really want to look at it. I already showed you all BAPA, which might be a new swing alert tomorrow. We looked at LVGN last night, and that had a nice move today. It was up 6%. Oh yeah, Tesla. Tesla might be another new swing tomorrow. Potential inverse head and shoulders with hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour. We did a great job on stream of identifying this low. Go back to the streams around December 20th, and I wouldn't stop saying how bullish I was on Tesla in those areas. Ended up ripping up like 25%, and then I even talked about this exact resistance like 2 days before it hit it and topped out. And now you've pulled back a nice amount, and you're developing a potential inverse head and shoulders on Tesla. I saw somebody else chart this as well. Nice little supply line there as well. So Tesla could be set up for a breakout shortly. Again, it does depend on CPI numbers in the overall market, so keeping an eye on that. Let me just fix this really quickly. Even Shopify we talked about last night, hit the PCZ of a shark pretty much, out of support, classic bullish divergence is now developing. I'm just showing you all the stocks I'm keeping an eye on. If you care, cool. And then the final one, okay, this is the one I really want to focus on tonight. I found it just before the stream. Just as much as I was focusing on Lucid all of yesterday, I'm about to show you all the next stock I'm focusing on for the next couple of days, all right? And I'm going to wait until after the CPI numbers because that could actually affect everything. But this is the next stock. So if you're ready, type a 1 in the chat if you want to see what the next stock I'm keeping a very close eye on is. Okay, drop a number 1 in the chat. What's up, Alfredo? Tilray, oh my. All right, so Max just talked about ACB. Tilray, what did it close at? Okay, close at 7:30. All right, so I made some profit on Tilray. Tilray is not the actual ticker I was about to show you. I just saw something in the chat. We're gonna get to the actual ticker in a second. But I played Tilray calls today. I walked away with a good amount of profit, but I could have walked away with a lot more. I mean, honestly, I went up to 756. I had 7.5 calls for Tilray. Look at the. I don't know why I deleted. I think I just got like frustrated. I just deleted the whole chart. But take a look at this. I entered Tilray calls today just for a personal trade in these areas, and I sold the calls like over here, and I was not yeah, right here on this dip right there, right on that red candles where I sold them. And the calls were just kind of screwing me over. I mean, it was still, I think it was like a 20% profit, but like basically they were, so you could see where I was kind of barcoding over here, the calls were up like 30% here, and then randomly I look away for 5 minutes and it drops and the calls are only up like 10%. And then I think I sold for like a 15% profit or 20 or something like that. And then like 5-10 minutes later, the calls actually went up like another like 20%. So they're up like 40%. So, you know, my trade idea was pretty good. It was a personal trade. I didn't share it with anyone else. It was just like a low time frame wedge it broke out of and back tested. But like this little one candle just, I don't know, it cut my profit in half, and it was a pretty decent size. So I just wanted to bring that up, but maybe we'll look at ACB later. Sorry for doing all that. But all right, here's the next stock. All right, here's the next stock. That's one of my main focuses for the next few days. Facebook. All right, Facebook. I've actually had some pretty good trades with Facebook in the past, but you look on the daily, it looks interesting. You know, you could obviously see that left shoulder, head, right shoulder formation, the hammer yesterday, the follow through today. Looks okay on the daily, but if you look on the 4 hour, it just looks a lot better, okay? Take a look at Facebook on the 4 hour. You've got the potential and percentages I just talked about, and look how clean this descending broadening wedge is. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touches on your supply line, and you broke it on the second 4 hour candle today. Pretty close to a 3 white soldiers candle pattern as well after the bullish pin bar. And yeah, Facebook is the next one I'm keeping a very, very close eye on. I mean, you could even kind of look at it like this as well, kind of like a broadening megaphone type of pattern. So I think Facebook has potential, if the market continues its current trend, to revisit this little neckline area around 352. So I'm going to be watching Facebook calls tomorrow morning, depending on what CPI numbers look like in the overall market in general. So yeah, I'm looking for a potential move up towards 350-ish on Facebook calls. I'm just seeing if there's any articles recently. I literally found this like 2 minutes before I went live. But it's like, this is one of the cleanest 4 hour wedges you could even get. And the context is you put in a bullish pin bar off the demand line, and then very close to a 3 white soldiers candle pattern to break out. So yeah, Facebook. I'm gonna go take a look at the options data on Facebook now. So yeah. Make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying the stream. All right, Facebook calls to puts right now 72%. If we go to just short term and out of the money, 75%. We go to over $1 million in premiums, 62%. So bullish flow currently. Look at that, look at the algo flow over here, just going up and up and up. I really like how they just updated, how TradingTix just updated this dashboard. Looks really, really nice. Definitely a lot more call open interest for right now. Let's take a look at weekly calls. 350s, over 6,000 interest for 350 strikes for this week. I don't know about 350 this week, might take another week. It's a 5% move, we'll see, who knows. But yeah, Facebook is the next stock I'm keeping a very, very close eye on. Of course, with all the others I brought up, I just also talked about Pfizer, BBIG, Peloton, Mara, Palantir, Fisker, like all of them. Like, so many opportunities right now. We just gotta hope that CPI doesn't wreck all of these charts. And futures are completely flat right now. Thank you for the 30 likes. Make sure to join the Discord if you're not currently in it. It's completely free to join. You get all this cool stuff in the Discord, okay? You get the swing alerts. Alright. Even shared some Apple options for all of you yesterday that were up 80% at the high today. You get YouTube alerts every time I'm live. If you want to join premium, it's the first link in the description. You get swings, options, day trades, watch lists every weekend, and just for this month, for the next 2 or 3 weeks, my personal trades. I'll tell you my entries and my exits. All of these chats to meet 2,000 other traders in the Discord. And some educational stuff. Actually, a lot. Shout out to Lord Bogendoff. Look at all this. All right, all you have to do is join the Discord and you get all this information. I'm going to scroll through all of it just to show you how much there is. Okay, those are only 2 of the channels he just made. Look at all the other channels he just made for all of you. Okay, anybody can do this. You always hear me talking about divergence. You can come learn what it is. Options. Look at all of this information. He's been putting in a lot of work. Candlesticks, harmonics, Wyckoff. We were just talking about Wyckoff on Lucid. Trading psychology. Mark Douglas is the GOAT. Books, patterns, all that cool stuff. What else do you get in Discord? You get these paid bots for free. Okay. You get all of these commands over here. You get a bot that tells you unusual options flow. You get another bot. This is not paid, but it's a free bot that's really, really cool. You get all those. So make sure you join the Discord. First, not the first thing in the description, but it's in the description. All right. So that's probably going to be it for tonight. I'm going to be live again tomorrow. So watch those CPI numbers at 8:30 a.m. EST. If you're in the Discord, if you're in premium, this week has been amazing so far. Keep it that way, okay? Manage your risk. Keep making profits, but manage your risk. Don't let, 2 green days in a row get to you. It's fun, but remember, things can change at any point. So yeah, still bullish on the market. We have amazing low risk, potential high reward opportunities. So I want to make sure that everybody, most of the swings are green. Almost all the options have been really, really good potential profits this week. Just keep the gains. All right, that's rule number 1. All right, have a good night. Good luck trading tomorrow if you choose to. And I'll see you again in about 24 hours or 23 hours. I don't know.